Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel. It's Saturday morning, May 20th. It's the second to last weekend of spring turkey season here in Nebraska. So I got up early this morning, drove about an hour and a half south of Omaha. I'm down at Table Rock Wildlife Management Area. I'm gonna get everything packed up and head into this little cut cornfield this morning. I'm gonna try to hunt this little cornfield one more time this morning. I hunted it last weekend. I thought I heard a bird gobble on it, so I'm gonna set it up a little different this morning and see if something good happens.
This is the aerial photo of Table Rock Wildlife Management Area on the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission website. I parked in this west parking lot this morning. My original plan, since I heard that bird gobble on the edge of this cut cornfield the previous Saturday, my original plan was to sneak down this trail a little earlier. I got there about 45 minutes earlier. I wanted to try and get around the edge of this cornfield in the dark and get out to the west side of this cornfield before any birds flew off the roost. What actually ended up happening is I packed up everything at the Jeep, started just walking down the trail quietly, got to about where this first tree is on the trail. I heard two birds gobble kind of in the corner of this draw right here. There's a power line cut through there, so it's kind of open right here. But what I ended up doing was sneaking out to these two little trees right here in the trail, setting a Jake and hen decoy on the trail. I was hoping maybe those birds would fly down right here and come around into this little opening and come around this corner right here. So I set the decoys up right there, and then I actually just hid in the edge of the draw right here in a couple small bushes. Just popped up a pop-up chair right there. So after I hunted here for about 2 hours, the birds, I think, flew down along the edge of this field opening. This field is really overgrown, so I don't see why they would have flown down into that. I'm guessing they flew down in the draw right here. It sounded like there was a couple hens a little further up the draw. I don't know if they crossed the road to the east or headed north. This isn't really a road right here. It's just a dirt access for the farmer to access these two fields. But this is the field that I saw those birds on the previous Saturday, so I'm not exactly positive that they didn't fly down right here and work their way north up to these little fields up here. But they didn't really gobble, or couldn't really hear the hens after everything flew down, so I waited for about an hour. I yelped just a little bit. I couldn't get them to come away from the hens that they were with, so after about an hour, I actually walked down here around this corner into the opening, and then kind of made my way down in the draw just to see what it looked like down in there. See if I could find where their roost trees were down there. After I did that, I came back out, collected the decoys, worked my way back up to the Jeep. I wanted to go scout what this field looked like. And I also wanted to work my way down through the trees. I had planned to work my way across this all the way to this other opening and then work my way back up. What I found when I got in there was actually a trail, pretty good trail through the trees. It actually led me about right to the dam of this little pond. I wanted to check out this pond right here to see if it looked like birds would roost around that. And then I wanted to come up with this little opening off the pond, check out this field. And I ended up just working my way back around this side of this cover right here. And I actually came down here, did a little shed hunting in the trees right here. Crossed here, that's how I know how overgrown that field is right there. And then worked my way back up the road to the Jeep from there. This is that opening just to the south and east of the parking lot. There's actually a little access road cut through the trees. My Jeep is in the parking lot back over there. That's that west parking lot. Just south of the Jeep, there's a little gate in the access road. That's how they get them to plant this opening, I'm guessing. This is kind of a cool little opening. I'm just doing some more scouting of Table Rock, the wildlife management area. I got close to a couple toms this morning, but there was a couple hens with them. They flew down east across the road. I was hoping that they would fly down west and go to that little cut cornfield, but I was actually set up on the road between where they roosted and the cornfield, so I'm just gonna do a little more exploring, try and get up in the middle of the property here, and I'm gonna keep an eye out for antlers on the journey, but the grass is getting pretty tall, so I'm just gonna go for a really slow walk and listen for birds. It's still early. I have heard birds gobbling. A lot of them are just north of the property on the private land, but it did sound there's a couple birds down in here. I haven't heard them for about a half hour or so, but it was cold this morning. It was about 44 degrees and no wind, so there's frost on everything, dew on everything. The birds are actually gobbling quite a bit for the first 2 hours. Things got a little quieter now, but I'm guessing they're all down with hens, so just gonna explore the property a little bit and see if I can keep checking some of these field openings, field edges, see if I can find a bird. I just made it down to the end of this little green field right here that I was scouting. Looks like there's 4 different trails you can take. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Looks like
This trail goes back to the north and connects to all the open fields. Up in there, it's like open fields with a mixture of really tall CRP. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a trail cut into the woods right there. Looks like there's a trail cut off the corner of the field right there, and a trail cut off the corner of the field right here. This one runs east. I'm going to take that down through the woods. That gets me connected back to that other opening that I scouted from the east last time. And then I'm going to head north from there and see if I can find that pond that I was looking for on the aerial photo. See if there actually is a pond up in there or not. So I'm going to grab the shotgun, head down the trail, and do a little exploring. Just working my way down that little trail. Looks like there's a fork in it right here. I think that trail from the aerial photo, it looks like that trail takes me back to that opening I was in last weekend. I think this one should take me up to the back side of that pond if there's a pond up there. So I'm gonna take the left trail and see what it looks like. Just kind of working my way down that, what I'm calling the main trail, trying to find the backside of that, what looks like a pond on the aerial photo. Just wanted to show you guys kind of how thick this stuff gets back in here. Looks like a little opening right here, and this is actually the dam of the pond. It's a little thicker around it than I thought it would be. Looks like it's got quite a bit of moss on it. There's actually a turtle right there. Looks like a turtle sticking its head out right there. Somebody has a tree stand on the other side of the pond. I'm actually gonna work my way up that side of it. So I don't want to go east. I already scouted everything east of here, so I want to actually work my way north, see what some of these fields and openings that got burnt off look like, and I'll probably work my way back to the Jeep after that. So this is the pond, looking at it from the west side facing east, and then that side of it is going to be that CRP field that I scouted last Sunday. Work my way up the hill to the west and see where this pops us out. So I just worked my way up this little trail right here. The pond's actually right down there in the bottom. I just came up this trail and it actually pulls you out into this nice big open hay meadow. I think that's part of what they burnt off this year, it looks like. This is the fire break that they cut in around it, so everything's growing back nice and green. All right, I came out of that little corner down there. I'm actually up on top of the ridge now. This is what that field looks like, all the way up on top of the ridge. I'm actually gonna follow this tree line down to the end and then cut back to the west on the north side of the trees and start heading back to the Jeep. There's a couple other properties that I'd like to at least drive by today. They're not really wildlife management areas, they're open fields and waters properties that say open to hunting all seasons. So, but they're east of this place about a half hour or 45 minutes, so I figured I would drive over there on my way out of here this morning, and that's assuming that I don't run into a bird or something on the way back out of this property. I'm still all the way out in the middle of it, so I'm actually just south of the center parking lot. I can actually see the sign for that parking lot right there. That's that center parking lot that you can drive in from the north side of the property. Looks like this kind of wraps back around, so my Jeep's about, I don't know, maybe a mile west of me right now, so just gonna slowly work my way back, listen for birds. A lot of the birds that I heard this morning were on the private land just north of here, so but that doesn't mean that they're not working their way into the public land as I'm scouting. I've been stopping every, I don't know, couple hundred yards and just yelping a couple of times on a slate call just to see if I could get a response. But I haven't really been calling very much or very loud, just kind of using it to make sure I don't accidentally bump into a bird coming around a corner somewhere. I just got done hunting and scouting at Table Rock Wildlife Management Area. Got back to the Jeep, got all my camo off, got everything sprayed off with the little battery powered leaf blower that I bring with me, and just try to blow all the camo off before I head back home. That way I don't take a bunch of ticks home with me. It's just that time of year where the ticks are really thick. I actually, about 4 years ago, bought some of that Limitic camo. I just bought a bundle of it. Had socks, pants, a shirt, gloves, and a face mask. I don't wear all of it all the time, but I try to wear the pants and the shirt and the socks in the late spring when I'm turkey hunting. That seems to help a lot, keep a lot of the ticks from getting on me in the first place. But I like to bring the leaf blower with me so I can use air to blow off my decoy bag, my boots, my turkey hunting vest, and then I just, as I take off each layer of camo, just spray it off with the leaf blower just to try and knock any ticks off of it if there is any ticks on it. I found a couple last weekend when I was driving home, and I'm guessing I didn't bring the leaf blower last weekend. It was that first weekend that it was warm out and I just forgot to grab it. I'm guessing that they came off of I shook all my clothes out, but I'm guessing that they came off of my decoy bag or my turkey hunting vest and just found me before I made it home. I just grabbed them and threw them out the window, but I only found one so far today, so I'm hoping that I just didn't get into thick enough woods that I won't be coated in them like I was last week. But I'm gonna drive around, do a little scouting, drive past a couple open fields and waters places over by Nemaha on my way back. So if I see anything good or find anything good, I'll take a little video of that. And other than that, I'm gonna check out a couple places for maybe a hunt tomorrow morning and then head back to Omaha.